All right, so today is just about having a little bit of a review about what we've learned so far about economic fluctuations and trying to apply them to what's going on in early 2020 during the onset of the coronavirus recession. January 2020. In January 2020, what was going on here in Canada and America? Well, in China, let me tell you what was going on. There was an outbreak of a virus, right? And so that outbreak of the virus was really affecting China in a major way. They were shutting everything down. They were shutting factories down, for example. And here in Canada and America and around the world, we were thinking, wow, this is going to affect us in a major way because because businesses here won't be able to get their component parts to further their production process. We weren't going to get our materials to further our production process, right? And retailers were also worried because they weren't going to be able to get their Chinese products that they sell every day. So we had a supply shock in January and in February. So basically, our businesses and our retailers couldn't get enough products, right? We had fewer products. And so I don't know if we actually saw the inflation happen quite at that time, but that does drive up inflation because we have the same amount of money out there, but basically we have fewer goods. So we have, the same amount of dollars chasing fewer goods. That breeds inflation. We call that stagflation, ladies and gentlemen, right? But I mean, this was all happening so fast, and if it just happened in China, the stagflation story would be the major story. However, 1 month later, we started having cases here in Canada and the United States, and we started shutting down as well. So what did we see? And I don't know about the magnitude of these chefs at all. It's completely made up by me. I don't know the magnitude. But, yeah. So what did we see? Well, we saw that there was even a much greater reduction in the output of goods because we just stopped demanding goods. We stopped demanding services. We weren't going to restaurants. We're not going to get our taxes done. We're not going anywhere. We're staying at home. And so that, my friends, is highly deflationary, right? And so I don't know. I understand that there's a shortage of goods out there, and so if you have a shortage of goods, some goods they're going to go up in price. But I mean, for example, like a car, for example, if you wanted to buy a brand new car, I bet you this would be the time to do it at March 29th, 2020, because no one's going out and buying cars anymore right now, right? So I think you would see we have right now more deflationary pressures than inflationary pressures. So anyway, so let's examine, let's just review, I guess. So what is the Bank of Canada going to do, right? Because we want to shift that aggregate demand curve to the right. That's Keynesian economics, right? We're doctors. So we're not going to act like the Austrian school of economics and just wait it out. We'll wait for the wages and the prices and perceptions. There'll be a Great Depression, but it's okay. It'll all work out in the end. Basically, the Bank of Canada just fuddles things up anyways. Well, no, we're not going to do what the Austrian economists would do. We're going to do what the Keynesian economists do, and we're not going to even do step 4 at all. We're not going to let step 4 happen. We are going to interject. We are going to have some monetary injections. We're going to have some fiscal stimulus, and we're going to move that aggregate demand curve back at least to A1. Okay? All right, at least to A1, whatever. Okay, whatever. All right, so next video. So just a quick review. Okay, we're talking about monetary injection right now, right? And how does that affect a closed economy and a small open economy? We are a small open economy, but of course. Okay, so let's just go on. Okay, so here we go, just really fast. We want to switch the aggregate demand curve to the right. That's the idea. How do we do it? We lower interest rates. How do we do that? We increase the money supply. All right. So we increase the money supply. That lowers interest rates there on the side. And what's going to happen? The aggregate demand curve is going to shift to the right. We are going to start consuming more. We're going to start investing more. And that's going to mean in order to consume more and invest more, we need more money to do so. So the money demand is going to go up, and that's going to partially reverse the interest rate decline. All right? And therefore, the aggregate demand curve didn't switch out as far as it would have to the right otherwise, right? Anyways, so that's basically what it would look like in a closed economy. But we're not. We have an open economy. Now, it's debatable, this next part, what I'm going to show you. But anyways, we have the world rate, right? So the world rate there is the world interest rate, okay? And if we drop our interest rate below many other countries' interest rates, then people are going to be like, oh man, Canadian interest rates suck. I want to invest in America, so I'm going to sell my Canadian financial assets and I'm going to buy American financial assets. So what do? They sell Canadian financial assets and they sell their Canadian dollars and they buy US dollars, right? And so what's going to happen? Well, the Canadian dollar is going to go down. And the Canadian dollar goes down, believe it or not, it shifts the aggregate demand curve further to the right because of NX, right? Canadians' goods become cheaper for foreigners, and foreign goods become more expensive for Canadians as the Canadian dollar goes down. So we start demanding more Canadian goods. Anyways, and so this is going to happen because our world rate is still, is still below our interest rate, and so they're going to keep on selling financial assets, getting out of the Canadian dollar, and they're gonna, keep on. That's gonna keep on lowering the Canadian dollar, and this is gonna happen all the way until our interest rate eventually matches the world rate. Okay. And that's what would happen typically in an open economy. But I have a question to you. I mean, the thing why this might not be applying right now during the coronavirus is that a lot of countries have lowered their interest rates. It's not just Canada, all right? We had this is a global recession. It's affecting the whole world. Australia has lowered their interest rates. America's lowered their interest rates. Europe has lowered their interest rates. The UK has lowered their interest rates. So I'm not sure if this lower interest rate thing is really applying right now. You might even be able to kind of question, to be honest, right? I mean, okay, so is this whole thing, is this really effective during the coronavirus outbreak? The Bank of Canada has printed a whole bunch of money that lowers the interest rates, and that's supposed to be stimulating C and stimulating I. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, with consumption, perhaps there's people out there consuming more, buying more online goods. There might be people that are going to, buy a car at this time because they recognize that it's a good time to buy a brand new car, and that might be true. I don't think that businesses are really going to invest. I don't know if if we're really stimulating consumption and investment here so much like we otherwise would because we are stuck at home, at least for the time being, at least for March 29th, 2020. And then the other thing is the world rate. That's the other argument, right? The world rate has actually gone down. This is the global recession. So I don't know if it's really stimulating NX very well. The Canadian dollar definitely has gone down comparable to the US dollar. However, I have to say, the US currency is often thought of as being a safe haven currency. So people want to put their money in US dollars because there's no other currency that's kind of safe in a way. Japanese yen is like that as well. The Swiss franc as well. So there are some safe haven currencies for various reasons. Anyways, they go up typically when times get tough like this. Yeah, so I don't know how effective it is. And during this time, what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think that lowering interest rates is really driving up consumption, driving up investment? Killing the dollar that's going to drive up NX? Perhaps a little bit of that. Anyways, we'll see.